Today we wanted to do something a little special for everyone. We've been getting in emails.
Shoot, that's right.
Yes, questions about real estate investment, things like that. And today we're dedicating this show to the listeners out there.
Welcome to the closing table with the Money Guys, Sidney Young and Jared Parrish. This episode is being brought to you by Allura Financial, AlluraFinancial.com, your source for real estate investment funding. Now, presenting the Money Guys.
All right. Sit your ass down.
Okay, stand up.
All right, stand up. That's all right.
Hey,
If you're in your car, make sure you sit down.
Yes, please sit in your car. This is closing table of the Money Guys. Ready, Sidney Young?
And Jared Parrish.
Hell, we're the Money Guys. You know why? Because we got
Your money.
Once again, look there on the screen. This show's been brought to you by Allura Financial. AlluraFinancial.com. Now, let's talk about the .com real quick. This show's been brought to you by AlluraFinancial.com. We are getting ready to go to major
As
radio.
opposed to .net or .org.
Or and all the other stuff.
Yeah, dot.
So we're going to major radio here in Houston soon, starting October 10th. This show, the Closing Table Money Guys, we broadcast a major media outlet, a AM talk radio station, 1070 here in Houston on Sundays at 4. So it's going to go out to about a little over 4 million people audience once a week.
But you can still find us here if you're
That's
listening
right.
to us on an audio platform.
Here's the difference.
On a podcast platform
Yes.
or anything like that. You can still
Here's the
find us there.
difference. When we're at that radio station doing that, we can't say shit, fuck, and all that shit.
No.
Here we can.
Now we have to say fudge and shucks.
Yeah. Excuse me, dear sir. Would you pass the Dre Poupon?
Right?
And now we get on the podcast. Hey, dickhead, bring me some sandwiches in here.
Funny stuff.
Funny
So
stuff.
We've got a pretty cool show planned for everyone today.
You know, okay, and I swear, man, I'm 55. We got so much going on, I forget shit. He told me what the show was about earlier, like, I don't know, 15 minutes ago. Mm-hmm. And then print out some paper. He said, don't look at this. And I still can't remember what the hell you said the show was about.
So that leads me to... Today we wanted to do something a little special for everyone. We've been getting in emails.
Shoot, that's right.
Yes, questions about real estate investment, things like that. And today we're dedicating this show to the listeners out there because they're the ones that have, well, for one, been listening, but also they've been emailing us different questions. So
Is this the guy in Scotland?
no, I didn't do the ones that were outside of the U.S.
Oh, we got a lot of listeners outside U.S. We got a guy in
do.
Scotland. We
Scotland,
got
England, Australia,
Russia.
Russia, Italy, France.
I'd like to buy some
England.
property.
And we've got a
Drink
number
some
of them.
vodka.
We got a number of them in England. But
England,
the thing
really?
is I'm a little remiss to give a lot of advice to those outside of the U.S. because I really don't know how their laws work out there. I mean, we could talk about profit and loss and things like that, but I don't know a lot of the tricks and what type of loans are available out there. So I'm not really familiar with their real estate market, so I'm not going to be extremely comfortable giving
In
any
Russia,
suggestions.
possession is 100% of the law.
Whatever you say.
If you're still alive, you have the property. If I'm alive, I get it.
Right.
Have some vodka.
I'm the captain now.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to trade off. So you've got three
So I
questions.
can flip it now?
You've got 3 questions. I've got 3 questions. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
You start, but can I flip this over now?
Yeah, you can flip it.
Okay. See, I got to take orders down. What the hell?
Yeah, but you can't read too far into it. It's got to be, you gotta
One
be
question at a time.
One question at a time. So the first question that I have is from Ernesto Sandoval in Orlando, Florida. Ernesto asks, he says, my father has had rental properties for about 10 years, and I've helped him manage them. I listened to you guys talk about cash out refis, but my dad said that the goal is to always be debt free. Mm-hmm. That's how you become rich, is what his father says. Mm-hmm. Is he right, or what can I tell him to convince him so we can grow more rental properties?
Now, me and you both know the answer, but
Yes,
you answer that
and he
one.
says, I'm going to inherit this business. I want to do it right. Please help. Ernesto.
Explain that one, Jared. I already know. We know the answer.
We do know the answer. Okay. In your personal life, personal finances, debt is a bad thing. Mm-hmm. Debt is just like a cinder block tied to your ankle while you're trying to swim.
Debt is an ex-wife.
Yes, debt is going to drag you down. in your personal life.
Like an ex-wife.
Now, Dave Ramsey, I'm sure a lot of people are talking, hear about Dave Ramsey. And now Dave Ramsey gives out wonderful advice as far as debt management, how to get out of debt, how to save money, and how to do things that you were never able to do before financially. All of that's great in your personal life. Don't take Dave Ramsey's advice and apply it to your businesses, because debt works completely different. You can double, even triple your return on your cash, your rate of return, utilizing debt on your properties. Also, like Ernesto's dad has, these rental properties and they're all paid for. You have a legal liability as well. If you get sued, now I don't know if they're using an LLC or not. You want to keep everything in an LLC. But if you get sued for some reason, let's say they get up on the roof because they're going to fix something, or they're hanging Christmas lights or something. They fall. Let's say there's some bad flooring and they fall through, break their leg, hurt themselves. Now they're disabled, whatnot. Then they sue you for it. If your properties are paid for and they get like say $200,000 or $1 million judgment against you, they can take those homes. If your properties have 75% leverage, meaning 75% of it's financed with the bank, the attorneys that are representing the victim, they're not going to be able to take those homes, because they're like, no, it's 75% leverage. We're going to have to pay the note on that. There's no sense in going after the properties. So there's added protections with having things financed, but ultimately you're going to be able to do a cash out refi on all these properties, take the cash, go back out and start buying more rental properties, and that's how you really grow.
And what Jared's talking about, Allure Financial, this year alone has been the huge market for us on cash out refis. Portfolio loans, we're doing a ton of them. People that have 10, 12, 17 properties, and they want to cash out, take that money and buy more properties with them.
Yes. So that's something to really keep in mind. Cash out refis are really popular right now, and it is a great tool for you to use if you really want to grow it. Like you said, you want to do it right. I hope, Ernesto, you're listening. If you want to do it right, that's something to do. If you and your dad want to give us a call, we can walk you through it, and I can even put everything on a spreadsheet for you and show you exactly how we can increase your rate of return.
833-896-6639. Allure Financial, AllureFinancial.com.
All right, Sydney, What's the next question?
Now, Sharon Ellis from New Haven, Connecticut, she had a question. She sent to Jared, not me. I don't take it personally, though. She sent to Jared. I really don't care. Maybe he's smarter than me. Maybe he thought he was. Anyway.
These went to, just everyone listening, these go to info@allurefinancial.com. That's info@allurefinancial.com. I'll post it right here. So it's not going to either one of us. This went into just the general mailbox.
You actually check it, though.
I don't. I actually check it.
Sharon, I love you. Anyway, Sharon Ellis, New Haven, Connecticut. So I hear you guys talk about putting together a mastermind group on your show. Is it more expensive if I use general contractor? I prefer to keep as much profit I can. I hate paying out more money than necessary. Also, why would I need a real estate agent if I can just post things online and sell my home myself? Thank you in advance for your response. General contractor, explain why.
So general contractors, a lot of this is just going to come down to delegation. So yes, delegation and also transferring liability. Transferring liability is a big thing. So let's start with one first, okay? Delegating. When you're trying to GC or general contract your own flip, everything's on you. You have to coordinate all the different contractors, the floor guy, the HVAC guy, the electrician, plumbing, the roofer, the painters that are going to come in. Disposal, when you do a demo, you have to make sure you get your roll-off container delivered on time. Also, all the materials being delivered. All of the scheduling stuff is on you.
Not to mention quality of work. If you've never done a fix and flip before, how do you know if it's done right?
Yeah, and how do you know who to call? Which is the best guy to call? Now, that's a big thing. So that's a big weight off of your shoulders. Now, the stress and everything, it's hard to put an exact price on it, but paying a general contractor to handle all of that stuff for you, you're delegating all the responsibility, all the liability over to him. So liability, that's the second part. If they come in, let's say, for instance, your flooring guy comes in, they start tearing everything up. Next thing you know, there's a fire. If the guy that you hired to do flooring is not insured, it's going to be on your insurance to fix everything. If your insurance doesn't want to cover everything, or let's say you've got a big deductible because you were trying to save a few bucks, well, that's on you. Now, you can ask for them. You can try to get the money out of them. You can try to sue them. You can get a small judgment against them. You ain't ever going to see the money.
And here's the problem with when you get a fix and flip loan, your rehab funds are put in escrow. You pay your electrician, you move on to the next task, and that guy comes back and says, hey, this electrical wire is not the code, red flag, boom. You've already paid your electrician. You think you go back to your fund and say, can I get another at $9,000 you gave that electrician to hire somebody else to fix it? You're completely out of whack. It's going to throw everything off on the project. You got to know what you're doing. You really do.
And she said something about a realtor, right?
Yeah. Let me tell you why you want to hire a realtor. We've all heard realtor horror stories, but there's more good stories than bad stories out there. Here's why. You're one person, you know Jack, Johnny, and a few other people driving by your neighborhood with your for sale by owner sign. You get online, you post online to a few people. You get hit with more wholesalers than buyers. These wholesalers, you're trying to sell it yourself. They're going to try to cut you at 70%.
I didn't think about that. Yeah,
you want 100 and 110%, not 70. A realtor plugs that sucker into their professional organization. MLS goes out to thousands of potential buyers and other realtors who know buyers looking for properties instantly. So if you've got 6 months to a year to sell it yourself, do it. You want to sell it quick, top dollar,
more interest on
realtor.
It.
Bingo.
Now, another thing is having a realtor in your mastermind group is when you go and take a look at this wholesale property and you're thinking about doing a fix and flip, you take your contractor with you so they can go ahead and start bidding how much everything is going to be. What if you want to ask them, how much would it cost for me to knock down this wall and open up the living room into the kitchen? But then you have your realtor there and you can say, if I had this open, is this something that people are looking for? They can say yes. They can also give you an idea. Well, if you do this to the kitchen, if you do this to the bathrooms, it'll increase the value up to this. They're plugged into the market. So a good realtor, disclaimer, a good realtor will be able to give you a better idea of what you can sell your home for.
Yeah. So my opinion is you definitely want a realtor on your team.
Yes.
There's 2 million of them out there. Screen them, find you one.
Yeah, I mean, you could do a job interview with a bunch of them.
Now, talking about screening people, if these people here would have just screened their finances, they'd still be in business. Here's one of our defunct commercials.
You gotta handle it.
If you buy something at Circuit City, then see it advertised for less, just come back. Our low price guarantee means you'll get the difference.
Excuse me? Last week I bought this.
Plus 10% of the difference.
And today I saw this. Just open the paper and there it was.
It's that easy.
Yeah,
That's it?
that's it.
Cool.
If they just hired a realtor. So, I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't have. I don't know. Anyway.
Well, they're definitely hiring a realtor now.
Someone's got to do something with that property.
All right.
We have some more questions for our listeners.
Thank you. What was her name?
That was Sharon Ellis,
Ellis.
New Haven,
Thank
Connecticut.
you for your question. Next I've got on the list is Sylvia Greenbaum from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Is that Greenbaum or Greenbaum?
I pronounce it Baum, but it could be Baum.
It could be a bomb.
No disrespect there, Sylvia.
Oh.
We do appreciate your emails.
Yes, Miss Baum.
And she says, so I have 5 rental properties, and I want to get into fix and flips. So many of the properties that I see don't seem to have the potential that I want to see. What do you recommend me to do in order to figure out the true value of a property and potential? I'm pretty confused on how to get started here. Also, what is the best way to find good flip properties? Sylvia G.
Geez. Okay.
Good questions.
Finding values.
Yes.
Jared, where can she go find values?
For one, there's a number of different ways, and the values on a property is very subjective. It's an opinion. Everyone's going to have an opinion. Even appraiser, even a licensed appraiser going out, it still is opinion. You can have 5 different appraisals done by 5 different appraisers, and they're all going to have a different value.
Yeah.
It's an opinion. What I would do if I was you, I would go onto Zillow, Redfin, your local MLS, look at the properties that have sold in the past 6 months within a half a mile from the home that you're looking at. And you have to compare apples to apples. If it's on the MLS, like Zillow, Redfin, anything like that, you're going to be able to look at the pictures, because if it's sold in the past 6 months, it's still going to have pictures up there. Was the home remodeled?
Look at square footage. Go up or down 400 square feet. Look at the amenities. Pick you, like Jared said, 3 of them, at least minimum 3 of them that have sold in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Take the per square foot. Excuse me. Take the prices of those, add them all together, divide by 3. That gives you per square foot cost times the square foot of the home subject property, and that should give you a good evaluation.
Yeah. Also, and like I said, keep this in mind, apples to apples.
Bingo.
Was it a remodeled home? Was everything updated? And that's going to give you an idea on your home.
Yeah.
Because you have to think about the law of diminishing returns, because a lot of people want to start adding in all of these extra amenities and spend thousands of dollars extra to make it a luxurious home. If it's not in a luxurious neighborhood, you're not going to get your return out of that investment. So for the homes that are selling, when you remodel them, you want to get them up to par. You don't want to go way above that. You want to get it up to par to what everything else is selling, because that's going to give you a good idea.
And rule number one as an investor, to ever even call on a property, definitely don't go look at a property if you don't know what the value of that property is.
Yeah, have a good idea before you get there.
I got people, they kill me. They call me, hey, this property, they're selling it for $225,000, and they go on. I said, dude, stop. Be quiet. How much is it worth? Oh man, that property easy $200,000 to $300,000. Was it 2 or is it 300,000?
That's a big swing. That's a big swing.
So
yeah, no, and that happens. And also, Sylvia asks, what is the best way to find good flip properties?
Wow.
So
it's a tough one today.
There's a lot of ways to do it. If you're new to it, I would recommend hitting up your local Facebook real estate investment groups. There's a bunch of them out there. Now, remember how we talked about your mastermind group? Find a wholesaler. They do the legwork for you.
Yeah.
Most wholesalers, their profit margin on a wholesale property is $5,000 to $10,000. That's worth their time of going out, sending all these letters, knocking on doors, doing all the work to find you a good wholesale. Be wary of the really large wholesale firms, because they have a lot of things.
We know victims.
Yes, we do. And if you've got a wholesaler that's trying to pitch you a non-refundable deposit, run, avoid it like the plague, because once you give them that money, if something goes wrong, let's say, for instance, you find out during the appraisal process that it's got a bad foundation. Let's say it's got structure issues. You're screwed.
Yeah.
That $7,500 is gone.
Like the wind.
Okay, because wholesalers don't do a whole hell of a lot of due diligence on the quality of the property. They just try to get it under contract and hurry up and sell it, because they only have a couple
Not
weeks
that they
to
would
do
do
it.
that, but think about that. If you were that wholesaler, you collect your $7,500, the deal falls through, collect another $7,500, then finally sell it. You make a lot of money.
Yeah, but you don't want to get caught in those traps. If they do want a deposit, you can give them a deposit, but make sure that it is refundable. But add a wholesaler into your mastermind group, because they're going to be able to do the legwork for you and find you those properties.
Okay.
It's your turn.
Here we go. Crystal Aguilar, San Antonio, Texas. I love San Antonio.
San Antonio's nice.
You been to Riverwalk down there?
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good place to go fishing.
Good dating.
Anyway.
Fishing.
Okay, don't go fishing in the river.
Yeah, don't
okay.
do it. You'll get arrested.
Unless you're drunk. Okay. Hey, Crystal Aguilar, San Antonio, Texas. Hey, Jared and Sydney, love the show. I love thinking about starting my own real estate investment business, but I don't know how to get started. I don't have a lot of money to invest. She has $8,000 roughly in liquidity, but I hear all the time about using other people's money to make money. I hear you guys talk about hard money loans, but they require a lot of money down, which I don't have. Please tell me how to get started without getting in over my head. We got a wholesaler line 2, wholesaler line 2.
Okay.
Clean up aisle 3.
All right. So here's the thing. Wholesaling doesn't really require any money to get started.
No.
It does require a lot of elbow grease.
It does.
You will need to learn how to go out there and find it. Now, learning about wholesaling, we're going to give you a quick rundown of it. There's a lot of videos on YouTube that you could look up to learn about wholesaling. Ultimately, it's going to come out to this: volume.
Yeah. So
you can find depressed properties, you can find pre-foreclosures, you can find people who are delinquent. There's programs out there similar like PropStream. There's other programs similar to that, to where you can automate mail outs. So you find all these properties and just start sending mailers out to everybody. And a great way to start, inexpensive, walk your neighborhood. If you see a house that is in disrepair in your neighborhood, go knock on their door. Say, hey, if you're interested in selling your house, I understand that it's in kind of disrepair. I can probably bring a cash buyer to you.
And if you get an address, there's tons of these places that you can sign up to do so-called skip tracing. We kind of find out most skip tracing can be done just by Google for free.
Yeah. If you go to truepeoplesearch.com, You could do skip tracing for absolutely free. I pay a $0.
Ah, good fee.
For,
I like that monthly fee. I'll take two of them.
I like that monthly fee too. So, you
So,
can pay
and
$0
another
for skip
thing,
tracing.
if you want to start wholesaling, that's great. Here's the thing. You need a couple things in place to even start. One, you got to know how to find properties. You just gave you an idea. In today's market, especially the way the market is, the old-fashioned driving for dollars still works. You see a for sale by owner, knock on the door, talk to them. Always have a card. Even if it's just a blank card with your name and phone number and email, sometimes that's the best card because you look actually human.
Yeah, and you can also go to like Craigslist.
Yeah.
A lot of people
Yeah,
try
you
to-
found that he actually. I used to think Craigslist nothing but ghetto. Leave it alone. Don't waste my time while leaving Craigslist. We made some serious money off a deal.
Some
we found.
people have been still posting their homes for sale on Craigslist.
We made over $40,000 on that deal.
Yeah, and you could reach out because typically it's for sale by owner.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of realtors are going to use it. For sale by owner, anything where you see FSBO, SFBO, that's for sale by owner. If the owner is trying to sell it, that's a good opportunity for you to try to get in. Know how to calculate the values. You could look at some of the previous shows that we've done in order to go in and calculate the values. But take a look at it, see what you could get it for, see what you could sell it for, and that's how you're going to make money.
And one
You're
last
saving
thing to
money
do
back.
if you start a wholesaler, finding the property is important, but you also need a buyer's list. So as soon as you find it, you know how to liquidate it.
Mm-hmm.
So put your buyer's list together. Vet those people. Make sure they got the money to buy.
And where was she from?
San Antonio.
San Antonio. If you're in San
Call
Antonio,
us.
call us.
Yeah,
we can help you sell
yeah,
it. We can
right.
definitely help you sell it.
833-896-6639. Allure Financial. AllureFinancial.com.
Okay, so we've got Patricia Patel
Oh.
in Chicago, Illinois.
I'm headed there soon, end of this month, October.
yeah?
End of October.
Maybe
I'm
you
in
can go
Chicago.
say hi to Patricia.
Aye.
So Patricia asks, I don't understand why you push private money. Hold on. So
But Simon, why did you hit your button?
I don't understand why you push private money loans. I have a couple of rental properties and I have done 2 flips, but using cash money. I have looked into private money loans for flips and rentals, but the interest rates seem to be high. What is the real benefit of financing my rental properties or my flips with private or hard money, or is it just for people with bad credit?
I'm going to overtalk it, so you go ahead. Explain why you need
Okay,
the intelligence
Patricia.
behind this.
Patricia, congratulations on your business. That's wonderful that you were able to go out and take care of your fix and flips with cash money.
No, it's not wonderful.
It's wonderful that she has the capability of doing that.
Very true.
Okay? Congratulations on that. I don't want to be negative about it. So here's the thing. With private money, you don't have limits on how many loans you can get. When you go to the bank, everything's based on DTI, debt to income ratio. So you've got to go through this full financial background check. They're going to look at everything that you do. It takes way too long. Now, if you've got money, cash money to buy a property, that's great, but don't use all of your money because that's a lot of exposure on yourself. So yes, I understand with hard money loans on a flip, yes, the interest rate's higher, but they can also close in just a matter of a few days.
Yeah.
Also, if you're using cash money, if you've got that much cash, if you're using a hard money lender, we can quadruple the amount of profit because you could do 5 houses at once as opposed to just doing one because you're using cash. So if you've got a lot of opportunities, let's say, for instance, you had 5 houses in your area that you're wanting to buy, but you had to narrow it down to 1 because you only have enough cash to do 1. That's where private or hard money comes into play. Now, as far as your rentals, if you're using a conventional loan, bank loans, to finance your rental properties, that's great that you were able to do that. I'm sure you're saving a little bit of money on interest. Right now, private money loans, long-term rental loans, are not that much more expensive than the bank. We have loans starting in the low 4s, depending on your LTV. There's a lot of qualifications that go in there.
And
so
we
if you
need
want to
less
discount it.
docs. A lot less.
All we need is 2 months bank statements. I don't need your taxes.
Yep.
I don't need your W-2s. I don't need 1 year's bank statements or paycheck stubs or any of this other crap. I need 2 months bank statements.
And we can
because
close
it's
in 3 weeks.
asset-based. Also, you're not limited to how many loans you can have. A lot of banks or conventional lenders are going to limit you to so many loans. So with us, we don't care. If you're doing 100 loans a year, that's fine. But if it's more expensive, let's say we're talking about a difference between 3.5% with the bank and 4.75 with us. That's not that giant of a leap. But if there is more cost, work it into your business model. You could still make everything profitable.
And like Jared said, instead of taking $200,000 out from one purchase, you could take out $30,000 to a purchase, go out and find another one, and while this one's being rehabbed, you're sort of leapfrogging your projects.
Absolutely.
And that is going to bring you in close to $200,000 in profit, depending on which property and how much your yield is on that. But you can do this. You make a hell of a lot more money with your $200,000 investment.
Yeah,
it's called leveraging.
A lot of people always want to try to cut cost in order to save money or make more money. Cutting cost is not the best way to make money. If something is more expensive, typically you get what you pay for, okay? Because there's a benefit for paying more money. That's why it's more expensive. Build the cost into your business model. As long as you could build it into your business model and make sure that you're still profitable, a lot of these loans are going to be a lot easier, a lot quicker, and it's just going to make your whole business run a lot smoother. Trust me. Give us a call at 833-896-6639. We can answer a lot more of your questions, Patricia. Thank you very much for giving us a call. Congratulations on your business.
We have another question from Brian Turlington, Mesa, Arizona, where it gets hotter and hell.
Yes.
Anyway,
Have you been to Hill?
No, I've been to Arizona, though.
Oh,
I guess I have been to hell. Money guys, I'm a new investor in Arizona. It took a long time to start my own business, but here I am. I feel a little lost. I bought 2 rental properties using a bank loan, thinking that's how I can grow my business with my local bank. But now I bought these properties. I'm making profit on the rent, but I have no money to invest. What would be my best strategy for my portfolio? Jared, my boy needs a cash out. Talk to him.
So I get where you're coming from. And a lot of people who...
he over-leveraged.
He did. A lot of people who just jump into real estate investment without a clear defined plan. The first thing that people think about when it comes into real estate investment is buying rental properties. Rental properties are great because as you grow your rental portfolio, you're building wealth, you're building ownership. Now, the idea is that you continue it to grow. If you've got a finite amount of money, you don't just run out and buy a rental property. So let's just say, for instance, and I'm just going to be using just general figures here. Let's say you go out and you buy a rental property, okay? You finance it with your bank. Let's say you need 20% down. So a $200,000 house, you got $40,000 into it. Let's say you started with $40,000. Yes, are you going to be making a profit on the rent? Of course you are. But how much is that profit? $600 a month? $700 a month? How long is it going to take for that $700 payment every month until you get your $40,000 back? And then you can go out and buy another house. That ain't the way you roll with it. If you're starting with a finite amount of money like that, you don't want to start with just rental properties. You want to start with fix and flip. With fix and flip, you could do it 2 different ways. The 3-in-1 is what I recommend a lot. 3-in-1 means you're going to do 3 flips, and on the 4th one, you buy and hold it. So as you do the flip, instead of selling it when you're done, you do a cash out refi. Pull your seed money back out, and then you go out and buy another property. With fix and flip, it's going to allow for cash flow in your business. That's important. Make sure that cash is coming in and going out. This way you can continually build your rental portfolio. Now, once you get to the point to where you do have a little bit more of an extensive portfolio, instead of flipping all your houses, you're going to get into BRRRR. Have you ever, you know BRRRR? BRRRR is
it's cold.
Buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat. So now at this point, you've got so many rental properties that you've got cash just flowing in.
Cash going out your ass.
Cash is feeling good because your rental properties, let's say you've got 20 of them. Let's say you're making $700 a month on each one of them. $700 a month over 20 properties. That's not a bad little income
now,
right there.
If you have real estate questions, you want us, because we're going to have another episode coming up at least once a month where we read off these questions. So send them in to info, at allurafinancial.com.
Yes.
We'd love to answer your real estate questions for you.
Everyone, info at allurafinancial.com. You can also call us at 833-896-6639 or allurafinancial.com.
We'll see you next week. Close the Money Guy.